everyone. So I was gonna do a different video like always. I was gonna do that one where I talked about depression and like the symptoms that most people know, and then my own symptoms that I'm affected by. But I just kind of wanted to talk about something else. In that video, I've already recorded. It'll be up either like next week or might post, tomorrow as well as this one. I just wanted to talk about anxiety for a minute, mostly because that's what's really affecting me today and even right now. And just, sometimes you have those days where it just gets you, and I do have like notes pulled up and then like, the definition of anxiety and stuff, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But, okay. So many people ask, like, what is an anxiety and what does it feel like? Well, for the most part, they have a lot of symptoms, but one of the most like common ones is excessive and intrusive worrying that disrupts your daily functioning. And like I did read that off of it's one of my textbooks actually. So it's really hard for me, like I said, to get up in the morning. Like when I wake up, I constantly think I'm just gonna lay here. Who cares if I miss a class? I mean, financial aid cares, but anyway. Who cares if I miss a class? I'll just lay here and go to sleep. And I did go to my class this morning. I only had one today from 9:30 to 10:45, and it's one of the easiest classes that I have ever had. But we have to go to lecture. I don't know what they went over today, and we have a quiz next class, and I'm sure I'm gonna fail it because I missed this class. And we just started school. Classes just started back, and the first week I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna miss any classes unless I absolutely have to, unless I'm sick, like a cold or just like have to miss. No. I woke up this morning and, and it's also rainy and muggy, and that adds on like really bad too. In general, like how it makes you feel like sleepy or whatever. And so I just stayed in bed, and it's 1:16 p.m. right now, and I didn't get out of bed until maybe like almost noon. And I wasn't even sleeping, I was just laying there, just overthinking. But I want to read some other symptoms that this says. Agitation, restlessness, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, irritability, tense muscles, and trouble sleeping. And that's like the 11 signs and symptoms that it says, like the main ones. And what's crazy to me is like they categorize it as restlessness and then trouble sleeping as two separate ones. Because you can, be restless, but then you can just have trouble going to sleep. Both once you're asleep, you can stay asleep for like 2-3 days. My anxiety is not just, it's hard for me to talk to people. It's hard for me to do anything. It's not just social anxiety. Getting up and doing what I have to do, going to school, going to class and everything, it's hard. And I was never diagnosed with just anxiety. Like at 19, I had just turned 19, I was diagnosed with depression. And then I was told that anxiety was just a symptom of it. But, some people, theirs is so severe that it's a whole other diagnosis. And I know mine gets pretty bad, that I could not imagine being worse, and I know everyone says that, but I know a lot of people, another question is like, what calms down, anxiety or like a panic attack or, something like that. But before I like talk about like calming it down, I want to talk about like how I process things and how like my mind is leading up to a panic attack and then my panic attacks and then how to calm them down. I don't really have like panic attacks as bad as I used to, at least not like the physical aspect of it, because so many people growing up sat there and told me that it's all in your head, you're creating your own problems, and I already feel like that. I already feel crazy. I already feel like it's all in my head and that it's not real, and that makes it worse. Don't ever tell anyone that. If you have kids, no matter what age they are, don't sit there and make them think that anything is in their head. Like, it's not my place to tell you how to parent your children, but do not do that. Do not sit there and make them feel lower than they already feel. When they feel like they can't get any lower at age like 8 and 9, like, they shouldn't feel like that. They should be a fucking child having fun and having a childhood. Anyway, I can't concentrate, which is another symptom on what I was trying to talk about. But so my anxiety makes it really hard for me to talk to people, obviously. And it sounds kind of contradictory because I'm sitting here talking to a camera that is eventually going to be seen by not only my family and friends if they bother to watch it all, and if you do, thanks, but also by anyone on the internet that like searches something remotely close to my video, they can find it. And I'm talking, and I know that. But it's a little different because, like I said in one of my first videos, like, it's to a camera and there's not actually a person here. But it helps nonetheless. And I just want to like, I didn't go to class because I knew that we had to do like, we were going to be partnered up with someone in class today and discuss like something with this person. Nothing specific, just something that we were going over, and it's a psychology of learning, and we talk a lot about like animal research. But anyway, I didn't want to have to deal with that. I didn't want to have to talk to this person. I didn't want to have to get up in front of this class. Like, they didn't say that we were gonna have to get up in front of the class because there's so many people in this class. There's like 175 people in this class, so I didn't think we were gonna get in front of the class. But and it's not the whole people with anxiety don't like talking to people. Like, I love to talk, I'll talk your ear off once I get to know you. Just ask my boyfriend. But it literally makes me, it makes me feel so anxious. And so let's talk about like leading up to those things. When I know, like, let's say I have a presentation and I have to like present something in front of someone, my very first thought is, how can I get out of this uncomfortable situation? Like, is there something I can say? Can I pretend to be sick? Say I went to the hospital when I really didn't, and I don't actually do those things. Just mind you, like, not like someone would care. I pay for my school. No one else is at fault if I were to do that. But those are the things that go through my mind first, is how can I get out of this situation? And then it's like, okay, once I realize I can, it's like, all right, cool, I got this. I have a slight moment of confidence where I'm like, no big deal. I try to pep talk myself. I'm like, no big deal, And especially with like end of semester presentations, you have all semester, so you have like 4 or 5 months, right, to prepare. Well, when it's like 2 or 3 days ahead of time, for me, I'm just like, okay, let me write this speech down, let me practice this, and then I got this. And I do. Like, I remember it. I know it word for word almost. I can even cite articles and everything else. My memory's not shit, you know. I'm great at it. But it's like, as soon as I step in front of these people, no matter if it's 10 people, like my senior seminar was, or 170 people, I'm still gonna feel that same amount of anxiety that I would with either one. And, you know, like, you think it would be worse with 170, and it is a little bit because it's a lot more eyes on you. But how I get is I start to think how I can get out of that situation, and then I accept it and get a little confident, and then out of nowhere I'm like, well, shit, I can't really do this. And what if I screw up? What if I say something like the wrong way? Because when I was little, like, I had problems saying my R's and S's, and I was in like a speech therapy for those things. And every now and then when I'm talking too fast, like, I still mess up my R's. Or like when I go to say for, I usually say fur. But anyway, I'm just like, I think of all these things that could possibly go wrong, that will go wrong in my mind. And I don't think about, what if I get up there and slay this motherfucker and it just am great kind of thing. Because that's not a thing in my mind. That's not something that I can process. It's not something that I think that I can do. And, you know, but then when that actually happens, when I get, you know, a 99 on this assignment, and it's like I still don't believe it. But anyway, you know, I have that confidence, and then I go back to the whole, what if this happens? What if this happens? And then the next step is like, whatever. If it happens, it happens. I'm human. And it's like I go back and forth. It's like this constant battle between my anxiety and logic in my head, and what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. You know, what I'm thinking and know is, I got this. Like, I know this information. But when I get up there, it's like, wow, everyone's staring at me. What am I supposed to do now? And I do mess up, you know, that's a normal thing. Like, everyone gets nervous, you know, like, that's the difference between just worrying and being nervous and anxiety. You know, with anxiety, or with being like just nervous, like, to talk in front of people, once you get up there and you start going and you just know what you're talking about, you can go, you can just do it with no problem. You're still worried that you'll mess up here and there, but you know, with anxiety, it's intensive worrying, like, to where you will make yourself mess up because you are worrying so much about the possibility of messing up and overthinking. And that's how I am anyway. And because I don't want to speak for other people, like, that is a common, like, basic definition of it. But still, don't want to sit there and be like, oh, this is everyone that has anxiety. Everyone's different. And I'm sorry that I keep touching my face, and my eyes. I have something in my eye. And yeah, I don't know, I look rough. It's a rough day. It's raining, it's muggy. I didn't feel like putting makeup on. My eyes are bothering me. And just kind of looking as gross as I feel. But, and you know, when I do get up there and present, and I start talking, I know the information, like, I try my hardest to, like, you know, look out at people and, like, make that eye contact, but I can't. And that is usually why I end up getting docked 5 to, like, 7 points, is because I don't make contact. And, you know, normally I make anywhere from, like, you know, 80, like, 6 to, like, a 99 on these projects. But, you know, because of that. And they can tell that I'm nervous. They just think that it's just a little nervous. I'm like, okay, it's really anxiety. I'm dying inside. But every now and then I will have a panic attack, but it'll be about, like, something else. It wouldn't be like a presentation. It would be stuff that in the moment I find more important. Like, if I'm gonna have, like, an interview when I've just quit, like, all my job sites, and, you know, I really need that job, you know, like 30 minutes before I'm about to leave, like, I'll just be like, what if I don't get it, you know, what if this, what if that, and it's just like this 23 second, like, process in my head that is like, what if this happens, and it's like, someone that talks too fast and I can't breathe in between, and you just like take a breath. That's what my head is like. You know, then I start to hyperventilate, and I have to like sit down and put my head between my legs. Sometimes that helps. Or I have to like put my arms out, like straight out, or up sometimes, like in the air. And I know like if people were to see me, it would look really silly, but yeah. And also last year when I was in therapy, I learned some like breathing techniques that help. If you've ever like been in a band or choir, like the breathing that you have to do for those things is like a really like deep inhale kind of thing, and you like, for the breathing techniques it's almost like that, but you hold it for a certain amount of seconds and then you release it, and like that helps when it's not like a dire like panic attack or something, but I can't breathe and I'm like when I'm hyperventilating, that doesn't help. And then there's like this thing called like a muscle technique. It's where you tense like every muscle that you possibly can from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes for like, I think it's 7 to 8 seconds, and then you release them, and you just do that a couple of times, and it's just supposed to release like that tension, and supposedly it helps, and it has helped a little bit, but that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about, was, you know, a little bit about my experience with it. And it's just an everyday thing that I have to deal with. Some days are better than others, and like I said, like my channel's not going to be solely like me just sitting down talking about my issues, like my depression and my anxiety, but you know, that is going to be like the majority of them, and if that is boring to you, I'm sorry. I do plan on sharing like other videos, like a day in my life kind of video, where like I'll vlog and stuff, like when I'm, you know, going to school or something, or like my cat and my fish. Like I don't know if people want to see that kind of stuff, but recently like I decided I was gonna try to go back to being vegan, so I'm gonna be like sharing that kind of stuff. I know people like don't care much about that besides other people that are doing that, or people that are vegetarian, and just kind of stuff like that. It's kind of like everything really that I'm going to be sharing about my life. So, and hopefully like I won't look as rough as I do right now, but that's also kind of the point of this channel, is just to kind of look how I look on a daily basis. And even if I feel rough like I do, because you know, today's just been a day. I've just felt really down. The weather isn't helping.